Alright, I think we're ready to get started, get everything going, yada-da. Everything's been delayed long enough. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill my audio beforehand. Let me look at the final number here. We're at about 140 players, so 70 v 70. Yeah, this should be good. Alright. Alright, let me go ahead. Just debating how long I want to get everything going for here. I think... okay, no, it's too loud. We'll just put music back to where it was. Let's see. Getting my desk ready with everything we'll need today. Man, I got highlight videos to still edit from like the past 6 months. I should really get on top of that. Ah, well. Dwarves, Ghost Wolf, how you doing? Ghost Wolf, I meant to DM you today. 3 to 6 on Sunday won't work for me, because I have something at that time slot. If there's any other time slots that are good for you that weekend, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just have to skip this week. So we'll see how things go. Ah, thank you, Dwarves. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed my slides. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and set up our prediction. And this is going to be OFCRA if it's still in the previous feeds. There we go. Blue 4. Okay, skip a space there. And usually they start... Yeah, they should be starting momentarily. So let's go ahead and set that up. I'm going to turn the music up through this dial. There we go. Get it to be a little louder. And we'll see how things go. It's between me and Mojave Music Radio. Fair enough. Discord's API could not be shitty. They documented how everything worked. Everything would be great. Well, as I appreciate you trekking through everything nonetheless. Righto, Ghost. Well, we'll try for something next week then. It's just my 3 to 6 o'clock I haven't done in the past 2 weeks because I've had IRL obligations, so I can't afford to miss a third week, so we'll try to move it into the following week, bro. But I am sorry. We work with what we got. Anyway, this is going to be an interesting operation. This is Icebreaker's latest baby. He has been working on Eulakia, I think is the right term. But if anyone remembers from, like, months ago, he invited me over to do a few beta tests on the map. We ended up going and exploring, I think, a majority of that island. We always started on Snake Island. We went down here one time, and then we started doing a few things in this region. So it was really, really cool to see how all that went off. But, you know, looking at additional parts of the map here, it's really interesting to see, because you can see all these little defense lines made all around here, so I'm curious to see what that's going to translate to on the map. But I really love his work. And I mean, the map, it's on a 1.0 version. I'm assuming it's had a Steam release because we're publicly playing it, so that should be quite interesting to see. But anyway, let's get some background here. Eulakia is an old republic located in Eastern Europe. What makes Eulakia unique is its quest for its own sovereign nuclear power supply, independent of the Soviet Union. This alone may have not triggered such a response, but trying to do a thing while also pursuing a relaxed grip on the freedom of the press. Okay. This has been roughly translated, so there's a period there. All these activities are contradictory to the international Soviet Revolution, so just as those of Budapest,
Good afternoon, Liru and chat.
Prague, and Poland discovered, those to oppose the true Soviet vision would be forced to learn the hard way. That's nice. Dreadnought, thanks for the 43-month resub, buddy. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I have seen the new DayZ announcement. We'll see what happens. I know they've made Livonia free, but now they're having a new paid DLC. I actually kind of like that. You have a DLC out for like a year or two, and the mission started. But then, you know, when you have the next one, you make the previous one free. That's a cool business strategy. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and have everything down. Looks like Blue 4 are in 3 different spots. Op 4 are in 2 separate spots between an MSV group and then a VDV force. Otherwise, looking over the operation, here are the ways both sides can score points. Op 4 has to gain codes from the Chief Engineer Registance, gain codes from the Office of Nuclear Power, gain codes from an undercover KGB operative, and then overload the NPP. Oh, overload a reactor core. Good God. And that appears to be at this position right. Did you make a nuclear power plant? Crazy Ivan made a nuclear power plant. Ah, Icebreaker, you Chad. That's actually kind of cool. I do love seeing built-in positions like these, because the only other nuclear power plants I know of is in, I think, Chernaris Redux? So, that's cool. I can add some SCP things to this. Regardless. Anyway, Blue 4 has to protect all of those objectives. The first 3 of protecting the codes are worth 2 points apiece, and then overloading or protecting the nuclear option is 6 points. So Op 4 have to do a lot in this mission to even tie, and then it's a winner-take-all at the end. So it's definitely stacked against Op 4, but let's see what assets they have in order to prevent getting bulldozed like that. So anyway, real quick, Oddball is going to be commanding Blue 4, Flip for Flap commanding Op 4, just to get those out of the way. We're going to start with looking at Op 4, aka the Soviets' VDV capabilities. We have a boat. We have an Mi-8 HIP with empty rocket pods, but they've got 3 PKTs, 2 on the sides, 1 on the tail. Their weaponry appears to be suppressed weapons, but no scopes for a bunch of AKS-74Us. Hell yeah, I've got some GP-25 systems in play as well. But it looks like they don't have any marksmanship capabilities, and they have some light anti-tank with some RPG-18s. This is definitely more Cold War-esque. However, we do have an Mi-24. It's got the chin strap 12.7 turret, but otherwise no weaponry there. But we have some additional guys here in black with parachutes. No, these are divers. They've got rebreathers on. Interesting. So they've got the special handguns. I forgot the designation of them, but they also have AS Vals. Interesting. One has a scoped VSS. Very interesting to see that on Op 4 right now. Looking at the MSV's force, we've got multiple BRDMs. Looks like the command one has the KPVT turret. The rest are only turnout PKTs. And then we've got a platoon of BTRs in the back line. These appear to be BTR 70s or 80s, but no 80 Alpha with the autocannon. Main weaponry for the Soviets appear to be AK-74 based. We see some PKMs. I'm looking for any additional weaponry here. It might just be that. I'm trying to see if there's any like SVDs in play. I do see some RPG-26s, RPG-7s. So there is some anti-tank capability in play. I see some RPKs as well. There's going to be RPK-74s. We also have some RPDs in play, some of the latest releases from 3CB factions. But I don't see any marksmanship capability on this side. You got to remember that scoped VSS, the gun only shoots to a few hundred meters before it just drops down to the ground. So it's not really a marksman rifle. It's just to ensure they get headshots. I think they're playing tic-tac-toe right here or something. I really don't know, but regardless, it is just going to be infantry with rifles and machine guns here. Blue 4, meanwhile, looking at what the local PDF has, we have a platoon of M113s. Their weaponries, we've got M1919A6 Brownings. God, that's funny. We have some Armalite AR-15s with 20-round mags. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else in play. No, that appears to be it. It's just a squad leader with 2 machine gunners. We have an AA system in play here for the Stinger. And then we have SMAWs in play, which they don't really get a lot of ammo for unless they have assistant. But even then, that's only like 2 rounds of AT. But it does pack a hefty punch. We have another M113 platoon here. However, they are unarmed. Let me go ahead and check the other 113 platoon real quick. I thought I saw a 50 cal mount on one of them. Yeah, so all 4 of the, no, 3 of them are 50 cal mounted. All right, so that's a lot of mobile firepower. But I think I went to the nuclear power plant early. This one also has 3 that are mounted with 1 that isn't. So we see some AT-4s in play as well. We see some very interesting graffiti that the players are drawing. But But again, I'm not seeing any Grenadier weaponry at all. They might have 320 systems on the side, but it's hard to predict that. Because it's a secondary, they'd have to pull it out. But yeah, they only have, the normal rifle squads only have one AT stick, so there might be some armor blitzing later, that's for sure. And then the guys back here, we just have a platoon of unarmed M113s. And then the rest of the riflemen here. That is one loud reload. Okay, so they got some M60s in play, so a little more modern for the time machine guns. All right, we got that is a Lee Enfield with a scope on it, so they do have short-range marksmanship capability across one guy. And that is pretty much it. Looking on the sides, I think we have about 140 people on the server right now. So, Oddball commanding, Watts as his 2IC, Duitson as the platoon medic, Killer J as an engineer, Whiteside as AT guy. Alpha's command platoon is going to be Rigel commanding with Mr. Cool as a 2IC. We got Demovar and Zixme there as well. Alpha has Parthius, PHK, Wombat, Roy, Camper, Wonder, and Bluck in one squad. The other squad has NASA, Ash, Eric, Shay, Cuboid, Nubas, Gazog, and Tackleberry. Alpha has a third squad here with Herzog, Michael, I think it's 23rd. No, that's the unit. It's so hard. I don't know what their names are because they've got parts of their name with it, too. So we got Foosh, we've got Henderson, we've got Staub, and we got Bayer. That's what I'm going to settle with. And then we have Sommer as well. Bravo is being leaderless, it looks like. It's just two squads working together. So we have Twig King, Pie, Camrad, Quee, and Crazy. Bravo 2 has Newton, Vincenzo, Gonzalez, Toxic, Nicholas, Ayerdor, and Dava. Charlie, also platoonless, has all three squads. We have Samuel, Mike, Kyle, and Kajonovic. Admin, Bron... I don't know. I'm just going to call him M. Or Ma. No, we're just going to do M. Sergeant Cooper, Kaiser, Lieutenant, and Bishop. And then we got Icebreaker, a.k.a. the map dev, with Sabas, Koss, FM, Spitty, Sierra, and Zeman. Gonna be honest, if you've played Arma 3 for more than a month, chances are you have played on one of Icebreaker's maps. Not even kidding. Man is one of the OG map devs from back in the day. Brig, thanks for the raid at 10, buddy. What were you playing? Otherwise, let's go ahead and look over our Soviet force. Flip for Flap commanding Jonathan as the 2IC. Looks like the Alpha group here is leaderless. So it's Fonz, Poke, Nuzzy, Henry, Roderick, and Pierce all together. I'm sure Pierce will find us some nice open fields to charge through. Leziak, Barty, Shadow, Artur, and Sodu under the AT group as Alpha 2. Alpha 3 has Kiri, Alexander, Sismo, and Sam. The fourth group has Kremitz, Pogo, Danny Swede, Depso, Cheeseburger, and Callie. Boyer, which is a second platoon, has Minobi, Sta, Delta 4, Jack, and Arthiak. The second group in Boyer has Quenz, Natha, Bravo, Krebs, Sonic, and Laservoff. Third group has Phobos, Spirit, Krieg, Vamp, Jormanrek, Broperel, probably butchered that, and Pat. And they've got a fourth group under Boyer, which has Wiki Quartz, Maxic, Templar, Titan, Grishovsky. I'll get it eventually. Snobos, Arlon, Avarlon, Robert, and Widow. And then you've got the Chekhov group, which is all of the airborne elements. It's Wendu, Mopi, Rambo, and Damien. Weaponry-wise, they're part of the VDV. Ventilage and Germa, I think, are going to be an air crew, because I don't see anyone else, but there clearly is a third pilot there, because I think this is the Mi-24 driver and gunner. And then we'll see, based off of the symbolism, who's flying the Mi-24. But the other VDV group has Skipu, Conquer, Teco, Marty, Stifo, Mono, Abe, and GDO. I'm just trying to look to see who's the driver of the vehicle. And then this is the Frogman group, the VMF, I believe. Settler, Defrox, or Derfoy, this would be the right term for it. Gregory, Gerald, Wojak, Zahir, excuse me, Audrey, Sip, and Mundies. So the pilot is Damien for that Mi-8. Otherwise, they're able to immediately deploy. And we'll see how everything goes. But how is chat doing today? It's a Thursday, so we've got POG and in the evening, and we've got OFCRA right now. So we'll be going through both of those streams. I will once again be doing a Dark Tide stream also late tonight to see if I lose any matches, so I go and do mission dev if I lose. So we'll see how things go with that. Boone, what are you talking about? Dwarves, you're grudging? Great. Happy for you, buddy. Helicopters flying in formation on the outside. I see the tow ropes out, but I don't see the boat. They left the boat. So I assume they're going to deploy somewhere out here. But we do have Blue 4 putting a group out over here. I mean, I think if the VDV and VMF stick together and attack a different flank, landing on the outside, they could have a really good hold on this. So I'm going to be honest, the AO, it's a 90-minute round for OFCRA. But the AO is sized to the point that we could see all OPFOR elements converge on one objective and sweep them at a time. And OPFOR, or Blue 4 wouldn't really be able to do much against that. Also, all these little shedded, those gray positions are just markings of these, looks like custom rock formations put on the side. Notice the cuts on these, though. They're very flat. And this, I think, was done on purpose to minimize the polygon count of the rocks compared to these vanilla rocks, which can have really high polygons, which can really lag people out. So you can see that he's done a really, Icebreaker's done a really good job of just using these more flat rocks where he can to help with the frames of Arma 3. And that is very, very appreciatory. This is a massive underground pit, isn't it? Oh my god. What? Bro made a freaking underground tomb. Oh my god, it's a mausoleum. Perfect. Now I know where to put my next SCP shenanigan bullshit. Oh, boy. Oh, freaking boy. Who's ready for some SCP hell? Regardless, can't wait to explore more of this map later. And then I have another map I need to explore from another buddy of mine. Paramedic's starting to get his hand in map dev, so we'll be doing some stuff with that later. But regardless, OPFOR are basically putting everything down to attack one sector. The air assault forces are going all the way around. They could land in the deep line, potentially try to get to the nuclear power plant on their own. OPFOR, meanwhile, they've sent a single squad up on this angle. Gotta be careful, though, because they do have a group waiting in ambush, but it's a little worrisome with what we have here. It's a border crossing here. So it's two separate countries that have been made in this area. I don't know, between Fapovo and this territory, both having that border, that's quite an interesting choice. Oh god, and there's a cave over here. Sorry, I'm also in map exploration mode because stuff like this is very fascinating. Oh god. Yeah, no, he definitely went all out for some of the custom areas, so that's going to be pretty dope to see. Regardless, BRDM has stopped early. We'll see if they decide to stage, but it looks like they're backing off. Maybe they saw movement over here and decided to pull away. They're definitely a distraction or a probing force to keep units pinned around this area as this main force comes in and hits that first objective. Air, I have no idea what they're going for. They might be going for a landing up here and then taking the scenic route down via this ridge so they have overwatch potential. But again, no one has scope, so it's going to be really hard to pull stuff off like that. But yeah, based off the fact they're slowing down, they're definitely landing up here instead. Hey, Nemesis, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, I was proud to help beta test this map back in the day, and now it's finally out, like, I want to say 9 months later. This one's been in dev for a few years, I know that. But he did a great job with it. Trying to make sure the helicopters don't crash their rotors on anything. But regardless, we have OPFOR continuing to push around. And Blue 4, they've done a decent job setting up their defenses here within this office area. So the capture objective's right there on the first floor. We got some great towns for this stuff, but OPFOR are going to stage right here, move through the forest, and then try to get right on top of this objective. We'll see where they stage their vehicles. If someone doesn't mind, can you shoot me the numbers of what the poll was divvied to? I'd like to see the difference. We have a Blue 4 Vic going all the way to the south. Here, right off the bat, I'm a little worried about Blue 4. I feel like they've divided themselves amongst too many areas. When you have an AO like this, and we only had about 140 people on tonight, so that's 70 v 70, roughly 2 platoons versus 2 platoons, and you have 3 objectives to defend, right off the bat, you're going to have to defend this one back here. That's just a given. And then you can either choose to abandon these 2, or you could try to hold them, but it really does divvy up your forces. So what we're going to end up seeing is this group is going to get overwhelmed because they're fighting practically half of the entirety of the enemy, so at least a full platoon's attacking that one position that's defended by a single squad. And then we've got just Blue 4, another platoon kind of defending up here, and then whatever is left is either dilly-dallying around or is around the final objective as they should be. What I'm really worried about is OP4 just bouncing these positions one at a time, and Blue 4 are way too spread out to really have a unified defense. So I think Blue 4 is just going to end up defeating themselves in detail here because of how divided they are. But it's a tough call. AA launch was just detected. Ah, I see. So that team has the Stinger. And you got the pilot flaring things out over there because they did detect a launch. Camera trying to pull it out again, but he's going to have to cease because I think that's getting out of his range. If not the weapon's range, then his render range. That's good on them for draining some of the dedicated AA that Blue 4 has, but they do have a lot of AAA in the form of these 50 cals. Now you see them trying to range shots out, but that is literally like 4 kilometers away. Ah, no, I lied. 3. 2.5. But even so, they're unlikely to get a hit there. What I'm worried about is that hip getting engaged. But it looks like these guys are too distracted by the hinds to notice the hip. Oh, that's awesome, them. Is FNF getting an update soon, or was it for a different community? I just realized he's dressed up like an AAF dude. But yeah, they're going to basically go and see where those helicopters are going, but they're just kind of pulling back now. You're kidding. Wait. You're kidding. What? Okay, there's 2 scenarios. Because we came in, we checked the chopper, there was no damage on the helicopter from the distance, the tail rotor wasn't out, it wasn't on fire to indicate a cook-off. So one of 2 things happened. Because between us checking that chopper to see if it was damaged, it was not. What happened was the 50 cal gunner fired a few shots. You're telling me that the gunner up... No fucking way. From 2 clicks out with 3 shots. Hold on, I want to listen.
Fine, if I die, you can just fucking take it. Yeah. Yeah, it's this one. No, it is.
Okay, rest of this does not matter right now. OP4 is about to start pushing that objective. I need to hear this. This guy sniped the pilot out of an Mi-24 from 2 kilometers away. He has the kill. The dude shot 3 bullets. Okay. So co-pilot's on stream. He's reporting there was a fuel leak from the 3 bullets that Blue 4 thing fired, but he is credited with a kill. I genuinely don't know. Anyway, Op4 starting to breach in. Ador gets knocked out. Artur gets killed. Lesiak tries to come around. He gets knocked out by Vincenzo, but they get the kill on that other Blue 4 guy. You were hit with the Igla. Okay. Okay, I know what happened then. That's weird that the 50 cal gunner got the kill then. So basically, MI-24 did get hit with the Igla, even though I didn't hear the explosive impacts. That caused a fuel leak, and then they crash landed. They went too hard, and even if they came down softly, Arma might have thought they went too hard, or when you get hit and you take quote-unquote critical damage, you're on a timer to basically land the chopper and get out, because if you don't, within a like 20 to 30 second period, your Vic automatically cooks off. But that's weird that the 50 cal gunner got credited with a kill, because normally when you shoot a helicopter down, it doesn't credit you with the kill unless you actually cook it off with your round. So from my perspective, it looked like the 50 cal gunner somehow shot the pilot out, because that's the only way that's not what happened, but it's so weird that it got credited like that. I'm curious how he got the kill marker, but oh well. All right, BTRs are out here flanking. They've got infantry sighted in these houses, and we have Nicholas here hiding. I think that might have been a ghost that Op4 sighted and started shooting at. Regardless, Sodu here taking fire from Vincenzo, who's flanked around. He's trying to find him, and he actually manages to get him. Let me guess, his feet. Yeah, he went prone and shot his legs out. That's brilliant. All right, I'm going to remute myself because my plugin is switched due to some other things. I got to talk to Ilbanek about that. But that's because I had to update some other thing, and blah, blah, blah. But let's see. Nicholas here getting the AT4 out. Beautiful hit, and gets the immediate kill. So he's going to be credited with a vehicle kill because he killed the Vic in that instance. You see it right there. It's just, I have no idea how that 50 cal gunner got credited with an infantry kill. The issue is that was their only AT stick, and there's only 3 of them remaining. So you got Newton over here doing his best to hold this line. Gonzalez is down in front of him. You've got Vincenzo coming around here. He's got that 1919 A6. Right now, the best that the Blue 4 element can do here is kill off as much Op4 infantry as they can to make it harder for Op4 to gain all their infantry back and continue on. All right, hold on. Just one more fact check. So Camred is the Igla gunner. So it did credit him with the kill. That is so weird, and that is not how Iglas and Stingers normally behave. I called him the Igla gunner. He's a Stinger gunner. But normally it will not credit you with a kill with the AA if you just knock the bird out of the sky. So that's weird. But, yeah, I guess it decided to this time around. It's a weird call. Very weird. Toxic trying to hit Seismo here. Seismo, the naked gunner. Remember, kids, the blind man that can apparently disappear fears no pickpocket. No, it's the naked man that fears no pickpocket. God, can't even get my references right. Grenade goes in the air. Seismo in a bit of trouble if Toxic spots him. Otherwise, he is above trying to look for him. Yeah, it's Arma 3. Why use logic? And that's so funny for Seismo. As soon as he leaves, Newton comes out. But I think Newton did that because he heard his footsteps leave the rooftop. Otherwise, Vincenzo gets knocked out as he tried to suppress this group coming in. Looks like he got 1 kill and 1 knockout. 3 kills for him. That's not a bad ratio to work with. He wakes back up. He's trying to crawl off. They don't spot him through the glass. Oh, he makes the mistake of getting up, but he's able to pull away. And he is reloading. He might try to go around, but we do have that BTR overwatching this side. It could catch him out of position. Can he get another group wipe? Or will he get found by the BTR and taken out? Looks like he might be running into a building. He might do a bit of medical there to save himself. He's going to run into a corner. Good call. And we got that additional group of Blue 4 now coming in. Op4, meanwhile, divided them on so many different positions. Blue 4 might be able to catch enough Op4 out of position and stop them from gaining any territory. Op4, they really should have focused on one objective at a time here. Instead, they are defeating themselves in detail. And it's really going to be up to players like Vincenzo with those medium machine guns to rack up as many kills as they can to stop basically OPFOR from turning into a death ball and just taking things one at a time. Looking at this group up here, they've just been ordered to hold this little compound of buildings here at that family residence. And Blue 4, they're still setting up a defensive perimeter. We do have one group coming around. They could try to outflank or come out and do whatever on whatever lines they can find. Regardless, Vincenzo, he's coming out of the building. He did do some medical. We can verify that by checking in here. We do see some medical. He morphined himself, and he had to do one bandage. These guys don't have any body armor, so if they get hit once or twice, they're going to be dead or knocked out. Vincenzo, it looks like he's folding in. Might use that prone wall tactic to his advantage. He's going to pie out again. What does he spot? Bravo might see him in a moment. Oh, he starts getting suppressed. Can he roll? He starts desperately trying to crawl away. He makes it. That was really risky to do, but his enemies have the numerical advantage on him. And he's got to be careful because we do have BTRs and elements of Overwatch that could try to find him and take him out if he flanks out too much. So he might be forced to draw a bit more into the compound here. But we also need to see players like Toxic potentially pick some forces off. I think Toxic just has a standard rifle. I have seen him suppress units so far, but he's on no kills of his own. Explosive trap goes off. Toxic is the engineer, so he perfectly baited this OPFOR group Ding to come in, and he was able to get 2 knockouts. Looks like no kills, though, because the wall absorbed most of the blast, but that is going to slow down that squad. Interesting calls here. Always love to see those explosive trap plays. And we do have more Blue 4 reinforcements coming around. They could get some flanking on the BTRs over here because they do have that small gunner and they do have a 50 cal M113, so they can do significant damage to those vehicles. Blue 4 could still hold this position because OPFOR seems really keen on having just, I don't even know why this force is here and why this force is here. They should be committed into this fight. This force, I get what they're doing. They're trying to establish an Overwatch element on the final objective, which also has one of the first 3 objectives they need to get, but I don't get why we got this side security here. I guess it's to stop Blue 4 from sending QRF in, but if they were to just quickly take this zone, they could deal with it. But anyway, Vincenzo finds an angle. I think he just got his 4th kill. Yep, and he is immediately pulling away because he knows the numbers are against him. That was a kill on one of these guys right here. One was already dead, one is fresh. You got some Blue 4 on the rooftops here. They're looking around. But Vincenzo is literally going to run a one-man war here. We'll see if he notices those guys on the rooftop in time. He does have his gun pointing up. He might have spotted movement up there. Yep, he does see movement coming up on the rooftop. He quickly folds into cover. Hitting those guys on the roof is going to be difficult because he's not going to have the right weapon spread to work with here. And then we've got the 113 firing on the rear of this OPFOR group coming in. And Toxic trying to shoot at some of the OPFOR guys here. He does get a hit, as we see right there. Vincenzo trying to pull away, fighting with the rooftop. He does get another kill. And another explosive goes off back here. Wait, no, freaking... Oh my god. Toxic just played an entire squad. He only gets credited for 1 kill, but he kills an entire squad with an explosive trap. Holy shit! We have the A-team defending this one objective here. That is another entire OPFOR squad wipe to an explosive. Holy shit! That is one of the most lethal explosive traps I have seen. That is 6 kills. One of them he gets credit for, so I'm going to say he might have gotten one with a rifle right there, but look at these right here. That is amazing. That is dastardly. That is what you go for when you get explosive traps like that. I love to see it. AT comes in. Looks like it just missed the BTR there. But we do see this Blue 4 element doing its best to try to take those vehicles out. We see more AT going in. That's going to be another miss. It went over. It's that tracer right there. BTRs are mobile. But this is turning all the support to focus this way, which is allowing for Vincenzo to come around because nothing is going to be watching him, because everything's dealing with that. So Vincenzo has an opportunity here to get a wipe. We do have Krev watching the corner, though. Can Vincenzo spot him in time? 113 could come up and do some lethal damage here to these BTRs. But we might see Blue 4 hold this objective after all. Looks like Op4 knows they got to commit more forces. So we have this Vic mounted up. I don't know if they're going to come around and then come from the north or where they're going specifically. But Vincenzo coming around making a play. Is he going to spot Krebs? Krebs is backing off at the worst possible time. Vincenzo's going to see him. Pokes his head out. Krebs immediately stops. He knows he's having Overwatch problems there. He could then come around. But he was called out. So now all of Op4 is turning to potentially look in his direction. We have a knockout from the 113 on this BTR. Driver still up. Gunner is knocked out. Nuzzy gets knocked out as well. And you got the other BTR right here. It's taking random suppressive fire. Gonzalez got knocked out. Don't know to what. But Vincenzo, he has to make a play because eventually Op4 is going to turn their guns and look. It looks like that BTR fired at that one spot. Vincenzo braves over the open area here. He's taking fire from the rooftop. Smoke grenade goes out. Vincenzo sees a potential. No, he doesn't. He's moving in on foot. Does Sonic hear the footsteps? Grenade goes out. Vincenzo is long gone. Vincenzo turns that corner too quickly and gets picked off by Kunz. Kunz. I don't know how to pronounce that. Regardless, that's very unfortunate. I doubt Vincenzo's going to wake up again. They don't double tap, though, so he might have the potential to get back up. But he's already had to get up once. He already morphined himself. He might not have the heart rate to wake up again. Unless he popped an epi before he went in, which I hope he did, but I don't see any epi trash here. AT fires. It hits short. I think that was some RPG gunner firing in. Or that was over here. Firing down the street. Looks like they were trying to hit this vehicle, but it's a dud, and you already see a bit of damage on it, which means it's already been struck by something. Probably the BTR has suppressed it. Vincenzo not waking up. I think his reign of terror is over, but 5 kills for himself. That's solid, man. Here's the double tap. But, I mean, he did a great job. Him and Toxic going 5 and 6 to 1 here. Wiping 2 squads on their own. That's a steal. We just had Blue Force send a squad over. No security to watch the road. A little bit of a misplay by Op4 there to potentially get an entire ambush here. We have a BTR coming around with another squad, 113 dismounting. This Blue 4 group in a lot of trouble here because they could get sandwiched. Again, they only have 1 AT stick, and was this an armed? It was an unarmed 113. So this BTR is about to have some pretty nasty impunity here. We'll see if they start hearing the vehicle. And Op4 do have Grenadier weapons with the GP25 platform, so not looking good for the Blue 4 group here. They haven't taken a single casualty yet. But yeah, Blue 4 in a tough position here. We might see reinforcements called in. Otherwise, how's these Overwatch elements doing? They've been spotted. They got taken out from above. From their Overwatch, or he might have slid down, or he was killed by the group back here. Let me check their kill counts real quick. Yeah, Kyle's on one. He's the marksman, so he's picked one of them off. Good shot. He might be doing really well there because he has the best weapon for the job here. There is one VSS gunner, but yeah, just the range of the Lee Enfield's going to outperform it at that type of terrain. Op4, funny enough, have not dismounted their infantry. Instead, they're hiding instead of coming in and supporting. So Blue 4 is going to be able to get out of that position. We still see GP25 rounds coming in. They're a little off target, but they're close enough. We do have another 113 coming in. It's going up the freaking mountain, though. It does have a 113, but it's going to take a few minutes to get there because it's trying to go over the entire ridge for some weird reason. That's a weird call. Blue 4, meanwhile, still stuck down here. We got the Overwatch element, but now the BTR is trying to pin him down. There is no medic for this area here, so Gonzalez is probably going to stay unconscious for a while. I'd imagine Op4 is eventually going to capture this position unless we see these Blue 4 elements flank that one BTR, take it out, get to the other one, and take it out. But they might not have any SMA ammo remaining. But again, this is all about an attrition fight for Blue 4. This is a bad call by Blue 4, but they might be able to get out of it, link up with that 113 coming up, but it's going to take at least 5 minutes. But then Blue 4 have a really solid defense on this final power plant. I'm going to be honest, I don't see Op4 with the infantry to finish this objective at this rate. Because I'm imagining the few guys here are still going to be able to get a few more pickoffs. These guys are going to get a few pickoffs, and then it's just going to be whatever Op4 still has on the field, which is these guys, which funny enough, Blue 4 are trying to send forces up to counterattack. I just saw a guy get knocked out and slide down. That's Skipoo. I think because Op 4 is trying to jump the rocks and failing at it. Yeah, don't jump it. But now they're taking marksmanship fire. He's getting suppressed back. But he had an angle on these guys. Oh my god. So these three are getting pushed back by suppressed shooters that are starting to encompass them, so they might not last long, but at least the marksman, Kyle, is back here working on what he can. Just had one Blue 4 commando get taken out. Kajonovich takes some fire, gets knocked prone. Settler is the one trying to get him. They're staying low with those AS Vals. See some grenades getting thrown in, but it's not going to be at range. 113 remounted. Could see some more fire on these vehicles. They did get everyone up. They got a new gunner in because the old one got killed. Gonzalez still unconscious, but not much they're going to be able to do for him. Toxic, I think, is waiting for another opportunity to peek out the window and get a few pickoffs as Op4 just out here, I think, picking off what they can. They might see something in these buildings here. Meanwhile, looking over here, Blue 4 able to successfully pull most of their forces away without a single KIA. Op4 really dropped the ball with having that potential ambush of opportunity, but it makes sense because they didn't even have a guy watching the road. So if they had an AT guy watching the MSR, they would have gotten a free kill, but that just shows the lax attitude of Op4 right now. Blue 4, meanwhile, finally on top of the mountain, so they can come down and reinforce, pick those guys up, potentially even counterattack. Because again, all Blue 4 needs to do right now is attrition and hold the final objective. Because as long as they can hold this position, they'll get 8 out of the 12 points and still win the match. So Op4 really needed to focus on just swarming the AOs one at a time, and they didn't do that, and now you're just having this. Because when it comes to having no scopes, the defender's advantage is going to be pretty keen because they have explosive traps they can make. They can set up machine gun murder holes. You really have to have the numbers and the support assets to just bulldoze what you can. If you divide your forces, you're just going to get absolutely sacked every time. So you got Blue 4 trying to come around. BTR's in a defensive position up here. Might try to pull up, but he got the 113 ready to go. We have another AT4 ready to go. We still have the Stinger on someone's back, and Kui has the SMA. None of those platforms have been dropped, so I'm assuming they have ammo for him. Someone just ran out in the open and was taken out by Newton. Delta trying to do a little bit of a danger crossing here, but it was taken out because he didn't have any good overwatch. Honestly, Op4 should be trying to pop smoke grenades if they're going to be doing maneuvers like that, or just trying to find a different angle, because every player is important. I'm just curious here. Where's Icebreaker in this mess? Bro's just vibing in his nuclear power plant. Poor guy's probably not going to see a lot of action unless we see Op4's VDV do some pretty incredible stuff. Looks like Waduni came around. I think he got Kyle with the flank around, but then he was, or she, was knocked out. We see some explosives being thrown. Mike does have some explosives to detonate, but now Op4 trying to develop onto the remaining Blue 4 position here. But in terms of the amount of casualties Op4 has inflicted, oh, they're really suffering driving down these mountains. Good God. Yeah, you got multiple bodies here from people just slipping, sliding down the... Yeah. Guys, I think I see the problem. You see, they tried to mountain goat something, but you see, Soviets aren't mountain goats. They're humans. So unfortunately, they got killed. It happens. Grenade goes out. Settler in a tree, but the tree thankfully absorbs most of the shrapnel because that's how armor physics work in this game. Looks like Waduni woke up. We'll be getting behind this Blue 4 element with a suppressed weapon. Ah, this could be it for the Blue 4 elements. He's going to spot Kajonovich here. Going to go close for the back of the head headshot. Does Kajonovich hear it? Swip. Oh, Kajonovich tries to get the whip around. Mike might have just put some shots on Samuel. Finds Mike as Audrey puts a few shots down. Samuel realizing he might be alone now. Beautiful plays. Blue 4 still trying to capitalize on that BTR. Op 4 starting to get on top of the final objective here. Can Samuel get himself out of this pickle? Waduni running up. Does Samuel hear the footsteps? He does. But Waduni gets a triple kill, wiping everyone in the backline, and should get that 4th kill. I think Defoe here was able to sneak. No, it was Adrisip able to sneak that 1 kill off the side, but that should be all kills to Waduni for that beautiful outflank play. That is the type of maneuvers you need to make and risk when you're doing stuff like this. Toxic tries to fold out to stop this force from pushing around. Delta wakes back up from his wounds. And we are going to continue to see this 3-man hold. Nicholas, does he have AT? He does not, so a BTR charge could be viable here as we just see Op4 trying to commit all their forces here. AT goes in, it hits a light post though. And Newton takes a grenadier round into his building and he is knocked out, unlikely to be woken up. That is one of the plus sides to what Op4 has with those grenadier weapons. If there's a building trying to hold out, one well-placed GP25 round is going to stop that push. Let me clarify, stop the garrison and pretty much knock them all out, and if not, kill them outright, you know? BTR is using that 14.5 to try to penetrate into that 113. 113 does not see where it's going. Looks like this final position is going to fall. And we're going to definitely see this for the long game. Looks like all of Blue 4's elements have folded around to try to ambush Op 4 on that spot, but they have moved everything around instead. Now it's going to be a question of how does Op 4 transition to hitting the final objective. These guys, I think, are doing a massive flank around to then hit the Chief Engineer Residence's position and then bypass hit the final area. Op 4, meanwhile, they're not really in a position to advance. I mean, look at... They still have 2 down. They do have a medic, though, that can get people up, but I think they're just waiting for them to get up through blood bag timers and whatnot. Because you take a lot of wounds when you slide up the side. Cardboard. Ah, yeah, you were just... Yeah. Normally, the 113 would beat out the BTR-80, but I guess in this case, we were just unlucky. I don't think it's a balance issue. I think it's just luck of the draw. I haven't seen any desync or anything else to blame for that. Just sometimes it's just not your day, broski. Your crew did knock out the Mi-24, and I still can't really figure it out, but shit happens. It did 0 damage. I wouldn't say that. There's definitely a damage texture on this BTR and on the gun too. So you were able to do stuff. It just didn't want to give it to you. It happens. All right, now we're going to have a bit of a stall. Because Op 4 needs to now get to this final position. These groups are going to come around and hit that position. Blue 4 have an entire platoon. If they lose this position, you'll just recommit them to the final objective. And then Op 4, in my opinion, do not have the manpower to fight Blue 4 at literally a platoon and a half strength. Toxic just trying his best to hold his angles. He thinks there's a group that's actually going to push his building, but Op 4, if I was in Op 4's shoes, I would just find some explosives, put them on the building, and call it a day. Why clear the building when you can just make the building not exist? Easy. Oh. But we have a bit of a stall. We are 30 minutes in. A lot of good actions happened. A little bit more distant fire on the ridge. And I think Blue 4 just lost another guy in this. They're down to 2. Dane. No problem, Yoshi. It is a good cheap whiskey, especially the apple one. Others whiskeys I find a bit too harsh, but Proper 12 has a pretty nice smoothness to it. It's a nice luxury good. But it's also a great cocktail mixer for things that require whiskey, like old fashions. Especially if you can get some smoke in it. It's good. Oh no, Blue 4 didn't lose a guy. They just have two guys really close together, and the triangles just kind of blended in. Yeah, so here's what I think is going to happen. Op4 is eventually going to take this position. They're just doing a lot of maneuvering here. Once they realize they can just move the BTR right into the objective and nothing will stop them, they'll be able to take it. Still, there is a chance that Blue 4 can bounce back because they do have the smog gunner on the outskirts, but I don't know how much ammo they have. This group's going to come around, take the Chief Engineer residence, and start hitting this position. These guys, though, have a strong enough defense where it's going to give Blue 4 enough time to hit the panic button and pull everything back to hold it. So these guys are going to get sandwiched and eliminated. Then these guys are going to get caught out in the open and eliminated. Blue 4 will take casualties, but not enough to lose. And then whatever remnants from here will go into the final objective and also get crushed. Righto, Yoshi. I'll give you a deal. Next time we play DayZ tomorrow, I'll pour some of my own Proper 12, and every time I get killed off, I'll drink a shot. Let's see if I can get drunk from the viewer base murdering me on DayZ. Because, I mean, that's going to be a fun day night, too, for new operations. Some we can schedule as early as a week. So, yeah, I think it's a win-win for everyone. More content, more ops. And we get to drink Proper 12. Everyone wins. But, I mean, in terms of the ops time, the final time, I think it was an 8. It was either an 8 or a 10-minute timer. So at 1:38 is when we'll start seeing the map wrap up if it doesn't already, and then, yeah. I love how these guys are on a neighboring rooftop. They, oh! Little desync spike there, but they spotted Toxic and were able to pick him off because I think he was still looking at the ground level. That was a great play by Op4 to figure that out and just camp his building out. Real smart. We'll see if Toxic wakes back up. More OML stuff? Yeah, exactly. TOC, OML, and Hellfire are all on the table for more ops, as well as more Stargate ops and some other various one-off ops. I think I have like 2.5K worth of stuff to put on. Don't make Bloodwing end the stream again. Funny. But yeah, just stuff to get us through the rest of this month. And then start up on, you know, the rest of this month and then a bit of June. Because, again, the goal with that stuff is to start it on the beginning of the month, but I got stalled by a few other things, specifically IRL things, but we'll get back on track by next month. So, Toxic doesn't wake back up. We only have Nicholas defending. He's going to be point defending on the last spot with his rifle. He already does have a few kills, but they've been single pickoffs, so against squads, I mean, he could get lucky, maybe knock out a few more guys, but Op4 is eventually going to take this position. Blue 4 trying to flank all the way around, but they got some Op4 elements watching them. And then these guys, I think they finally bandaged everyone they needed to. One of them did. Okay, no, I thought he looted the scoped weapon, but that's just Waduni's other weapon. I'm curious to see if any of them potentially pick up that other thing. One of them picked up the small. That's a good call. But no, they didn't loot Kyle's Lee Enfield. It's still down right there. Though in this AO, I think it would be a really good call to pick that up because they've got range. I'm not sure if I'll do testing ops anymore. I mean, the player bases these days are a lot more lax, and if you give them any bit of strenuous challenge, they just complain. So unless I find another player base, I will literally discount my work for them up to 50% if it can just be like a strenuous type of operation where I'm given clear guidelines and we're presented with a good challenge. But I know for my own community, you're not going to see that much. We were ordered by command to slow them down as much as possible. Yeah, no, I agree with that cardboard because you literally divided all your forces around. So the whole point was to stall. It's just if Op4 decided to hit the AOs one at a time, they would have completely overwhelmed you. But they instead split their forces up pretty heavily. Why do we have a Blue 4 knockout? Why is Roy unconscious? I think he got slid out of the Vic or something, but that's funny. I still can't believe we had a 6-kill explosive trap. Possibly 7, but Toxic did get a kill counter, so I think he rifled one off, but that was pretty based. Do they have to speak English? No. I've worked with Czech communities, French communities, even some British communities. So English is not a requirement. You know, to really hit that joke home, I should have said Scottish communities. Because for those of you that don't know, you go, but Scottish is English. And for those of you that do know, you would go, oh yeah, no, Scottish. All right, we finally have some OFCRA coming around. It's going to be Sam and Alexander. Nicholas here corner camping. That's a good corner camp spot, though. Good first blow away on Sam. Alexander might try to get on the roof and capitalize on the spot. Nicholas isn't close enough to hear the footsteps. And he gets picked off by... Beautiful shot, Krebs. Unfortunately, he was your teammate. And you are now getting shot at. Wait! Holy shit! He woke up! Krebs, you son of a bitch! Krebs friendly fires! And that somehow wakes Toxic up because of the noise! And now Toxic is back in the game! I can't believe it! Absolutely incredible. Toxic does have a group of 4 coming up to his building, so he's got to be careful. But get some double tap shots in just in case. Queens pokes his head out. He's trying to look for that shooter, but the tree's in the way. BTR now coming in to bring reinforcements. Blue 4 continuing to stall. Toxic's taking some suppressive fire, so he's going to fold back. He's going to potentially watch the doorway because he hears the guys coming upstairs. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Nicholas, though, gets knocked out by Queen, so he's going to be able to go in and get that final objective there. That's his 2nd kill. How much can Toxic hold on this final group coming in? Gonna be slow. Wait, where did, what? No! No! What happened? I think Nicholas woke back up. Let me just check kill counts real quick. Yeah, no, I think Nicholas woke back up and they just traded again, but this time he died. That's funny as hell. Blue 4 are so freaking resilient today. Except in Cardboard, aka Twig King's case. AT goes in. They're clearing building to building, room to room. Question is, if he jumps off and dies, does OPFOR get the kill? No. No one gets the kill point for that. If you die to a neutral reason like that, no one gets the feed. Arthea coming in. He's going to see... Toxic's going to see that AKA barrel first and be able to pre-fire. Just like that. Yeah, that's why if you know he's on the top floor, you might want to frag or smoke. Because otherwise they're just going to pick you off like that. That's the disadvantage of when you push around like that with your gun. Because they're going to see the weapon barrel and just kill you. Now he's counter-pushing. We have a sprinter. Oh! And a squad of desync. And Toxic comes out of that. Goes for the double taps. Immediately takes fire because Minobi is down the hall. Is he going to loot grenades? Loot grenades, you son of a bitch. Smart call. Wouldn't fire that indoors personally. But that might be for getting on the rooftop. I think he's picking up enemy ammo. If he can make it out of this situation, having that stolen AK-74 is going to confuse audio ID. And give him an advantage. Minobi tosses a... Or, excuse me, Toxic tosses a grenade. Doesn't get it to where he wants it, though, so he's forced to drop it. Minobi has his head poked out. Jack now potentially coming around. Toxic, I think he's going to come upstairs, potentially look for... Nope, he's doing a bit of medical because that grenade did hurt him a bit. Shrapnel went through the floor. Op4 is still trying to get this final area. Meanwhile, Blue 4 have decided to pull everything back on this final defense. And the first group's coming in. They're going to get defeated on detail so hard right here. And we've got one Blue 4 group that's going to be able to come in and close in to basically get the kills. Yep, Minobi pokes out. See, it's a friendly. So they've got Toxic boxed into the roof. Grenades going into that final area. Op4 playing incredibly cautious, but they've lost at least 3 or 4 squads worth of people on this objective, where Blue 4 only held with 1. Where'd Toxic go? Did he just rappel off the side of the building? He rappelled off. I don't think he AT'd this Vic. It sounded like an AT4 launch. We do see a vehicle kill on Pi. And he has a stolen RPG, so I think that group got it. Please tell me he's going to run in and shoot these guys on the ass. No, now Jack is covering the rear as Minobi's... buddy, lower your profile a bit. You only want your head poking out. No, he's got too much of himself shown. I just heard an AA launch. And that MI-8 goes toast. He's pre-popping. What is he pre-popping? Morphine. For pain resistance, it should have been Epi. He's pushing. And he gets him. Oh. Good call to push. Alright, I'm assuming Op4 have taken the intel there. Looks like there's no verification image, but that's fine. But Blue 4 are going to continue to clean up the rest of those forces. No reinforcements coming in. Op4 is going to sweep that objective. These guys are going to get swept at the end, though. Crazy call to make. Blue 4 trying to come in close, but Op4 now turning to what the hell? Oh my god. It looks like the nuclear power plants have decided to enhance their technology. I have no idea what that is. But you know what? This is the real SCP. We found it. Blue 4 trying to put some overwatching fire on these guys. They built cannons. Bluck trying to lead on point. He does have a kill. He does have Op4 close to him, trying to set up an ambush. Gerald coming in close. He does have an AS Val. And he blucks Bluck away. Only to get shot in the back as he's on an open ridge. Can a shot connect? As Gerald folds behind a bush. Quadricep trying to get into some Overwatch. Gerald taking more fire as he dodges left and right. Goes behind some concealment. And Blue 4 can't seem to find him. Quadricep taking more fire, but he gets a kill. Op4 fighting back here. Blue 4 only putting in a few forces. I thought there'd be some overwatching fire, but Op4 folded in, and now they're just fighting the force pushing in on them. Blue 4 showing a little bit of defeat in detail, but will it be enough? Quadricep on a CQC situation. Gerald trying to do some flank fire on Royd. Explosives heard in the distance. Looks like there was potentially an AT mine situation here that Blue 4 had to have set up on their own accord. That or Ma here saw the vehicle and triggered a trap thinking it was hostile, so a little bit of blue on blue there. Audrey looks like he was taking out. PHK gets knocked out. His body slides down. As more of the OPFOR QRF coming in with Skipu on the flank. Gerald trying to get some shots on PHK as he pulls back, but most of this Blue 4 element has been taken out. But we still have a massive amount of Blue 4 around the objective itself. And OPFOR, I think, have a size of half that force. So, OPFOR going to win this battle here, but not sure about the war. All right. Blue 4 looks like they're doing a bit of a pull-out. We do have some Blue 4, though, running on the ridge still. Skipu taking one out. But he's got a Blue 4 weapon, so he's definitely confusing weapon ID here. OPFOR, meanwhile, finally encroaching this final area here. So I think they have to go up and scroll wheel that guy to get what they need from him. I hear an explosion in the distance. No idea what that could have been tied to. Maybe the 113 coconut? I don't see a fireball, though. Parthia's still crawling around. Oh! He's getting blue on blued, I thought, though. Those shots came from behind. That was a little silly. Meanwhile, it looks like we have an additional Blue 4 squad that's come around, and they're going to sweep the rest of this OPFOR before pulling back. That's funny. OPFOR losing the number advantage here. Blue 4 now coming in. Let's see if OPFOR can hold themselves. Jack and Minobi coming in. They knock out Kui. Pi and Crazy now trying to get to cover. Zixme spots some OPFOR movement over here. I think just got a drop. Pi gets knocked out. Crazy hiding in the 113. His head's turned out. Does Minobi see it? I just saw a headshot there. I don't know how Crazy's still alive. That was purely a headshot. He's trying to start the engine, which is why you're seeing that little glitch out there, but the engine's dead. Jack gets shot by Zixme. Zixme trying to get a few double taps. He's got an M16. Kui wakes back up. He's looking around confused. Alright. A little bit of medical going on. Crazy's just camping the driver's seat right now because he knows he's safe in there. Zixme, I think, just got the other kill on the one guy in that building, so they're going to clean OPFOR out. We're at the 1 hour, 5 minute mark. We've got about 30 minutes of game time left. OPFOR have, I assume, have gotten these two objectives, so they have to push in the final zone, but Blue 4 have so many people. Looks like Kui gets knocked out again. We're probably going to see Blue 4 stay in this position, just sweep out what they can. Zixme looks like he fell off the building, and his arms have become detached. So he's lost a hand, and he's lost an arm. Not sure how he'll be able to keep playing with that. Kind of need your hands in order to shoot people. But, you know, I could be wrong. Ace Medical has done crazier wonders, so we'll see how things go. It's funny because Minobi here has an empty RPG, and he could use that to kill. What are you doing? He's trying to turn out to find an angle to hit Minobi. But now you got friendlies coming around. Can Minobi channel his inner Audrey Hotto and hold out against a squad of Blue 4 about to come and pound his butt? Looks like they can't open that door. But Minobi doesn't know that. They come around the front. Kui bleeds out. They don't fully clear it. Oh, but he could get away with this if he just stays still, but he doesn't know that, so he's going to go on the offensive. Kills Nubas. Gets Q-Boy with a double kill. Gets Mr. Cool. The grenade doesn't stop him, but it does terrify him a little bit. Another grenade goes in. Opens the back door. Gets hit, but takes out Q-Boy. 4 kills for Minobi. We see him channeling the inner Audrey Hotto. So the blue 4 QRF that came in gets wiped, and Zixmi is back awake, and it looks like he's managed to reattach his hands. That's incredible. We see him clearly holding a weapon there, even though we clearly saw them detached earlier. Beautiful. Minobi doing a bit of medical. That sounds like an injector of some sort. It's some morphine. No, some epi to counteract morphine. Okay. Now he'll do some medical there because he's trying to stabilize his own heart rate. I don't know. Minobi versus Zixmi, though. We got Demovar in the AO as well, but Zixmi is a very good player. He just picked off multiple dudes. He picked up an enemy weapon with the GP25 platform. He is an artist with that noob tube. But we got the rest of OPFOR. They are mounting up. They are going to plan an assault with what remaining forces they have on that final objective. And we have OPFOR Command just chilling in this tower over here. I have no idea what their plans are. Looks like they're taking naps, and one guy is on the phone. Okay. Classic. Command can just laze around like the Air Force as everyone else takes the brunt of everything. Yeah, don't you know what QRF stands for? Quick Rest in Peace Force. I love that, Cash. Good call. Yeah, that's what happens when you half-ass clear positions. You don't check the back corner for the one guy, and then he comes out and kills you all. That's why you gotta fully clear the building out. Grenades being thrown up. That actually... I'm actually impressed that did not knock Lolo out. The shape of the explosive should have gotten him. Maybe this little sapling stopped the blast. Remember, guys, if you plant trees, you'll survive. Marty, though... Oh, he's picking a dude up. Oh, God. At least go up and make fun of him first and then blow him away. Good God for that. Oh, the body trying to get on top of the other guy to prevent him from doing the double tap. Does it stop him? They cable tied him. They just freaking cable tied him. OPFOR now have a prisoner. But Blue 4 are sending a force to counterattack. Will this squad do any better? OPFOR are all grouped up too. One well-placed AT rounder a grenade because they're happy to be looting their prisoner. Dejo there, I think pulling some security. Or Jado. Jado. Let's go, Jado. I think NASA's going to spot him, though. Misses that. Oh, what the hell? A little bit of desync there. Hold up. OPFOR doesn't realize it. Grenades get thrown in. Oh, that one grenade just killed so many people because they were all grouped up with their hostage. Oh, my God. That was a disaster waiting to happen. Mono trying to pull back. He gets knocked out. And Rambo, now literally a Rambo. Don't you love it when people are being silly? Dodges a noob tube. That other guy gets killed off. You got Skipu and Stifo waking back up after that grenade. Look, comrades, a capitalist! They're so enamored with them that it's the bait and switch with the grenades. Q Rambo channeling his inner Rambo. I don't know. He might. We could see him do a flank around. Oh my God, Parthius woke back up and Skipu's running with him. Are you kidding me? Out of all of that, he still opts to take him and run off with him. Was that hostage worth an entire squad? I guess we'll find out later. Stifu staying in the AO, trying to pick off people with his suppressed rifle. I think Misano just folded back to cover. And Blue 4 are running for it. Literally, Skipu stole all of his weaponry. Meanwhile, Minobi, Zixmi, and Demovar still at that other side. But this is the main fight at this point. Op4 are dismounted in 2 separate spots, trying to take the high ground. If they had scoped weapons, I'd agree with that, but they're just going to take a shit ton of suppressive fire and get picked off. I still don't know what they're going to do with them, though. Alright, so we got one other Op4 group dismounted over here. It's just going to be an overwatching BTR with 3 riflemen, and then we got the main chunk of Op4's infantry coming up here. I still don't know what they did to knock those towers out, but good God. Is he just going to use them as a meat shield? I totally would. Blue 4 have retreated to this far ridge. You have some random suppressive fire coming out by this guy who's died. Do I think they're shooting at bushes and they're thinking they might be forces crawling over? Because if we see what's over here, he might be shooting at this body, actually. They're actually treating him. That's so funny. Prisoners of war. Meat shields aren't against the rules? Probably not. Alright, meanwhile, we have still the frickin' 3-man fight right there. Defraud has a -1. I don't know what he did. I don't see the actual person that had it, so I'm assuming they died. Probably Defraud accidentally killed them for the weapon. Ain't that something? Gerald ducking down as he takes fire from Tackleberry. Because he's bipoded his 1919 A6. And gets the knockout onto Fall. Head is still exposed. Will he get the double tap? That's going to be a really tough angle to hit. The Frenchie being the backstabber. Where did I see that one before? TF2. Ash right on top of this group. Titan going to catch Ash. One taps Ash. Ash got target fixated and paid for it with his life. BTR now up here suppressing various areas, taking some retaliatory fire. Now you got Blue 4 trying to counterattack, but it's just not enough. Artheus has meanwhile been stripped down. And he's being rushed to the front lines. They might have. There's been a few blue on blue and red on reds here, but double tap fire on Ash. Skipu is showing Parthius what happens to capitalists. He puts them on display. Bullets going all around him. He's just spamming his head around. He's literally here to draw aggro for OFCRA, though it doesn't appear to be working. Misano actually kills Parthius. Are you kidding me? Free him at least! Misano! Free him! What are you doing? Free his ass! I'll free you later. Oh god, these guys, no security. Free Parthius! No, and then Marty kills him! No, and NASA got knocked out. Oh my god, the BTR got smoked over there. Everyone on that side's dead. The 3 infantry dismounted are now over there. Parthius acted as bait for both sides. Yeah, apparently. Ah, yes, the medical corner here. 20 minutes remaining. Yeah, MSNO might have been out of frags, though, because it's, you know, the last 20 minutes of the fight. The medical centipede. Oh. Cash, you're speaking as if you know about Arma, man. You know it, man. Eric taking suppressive fire by Wiki Quartz. I keep checking over here to see if anything's updated, but, I mean, we just have... Hold on. Pre-firing the corners, Minobi pokes his head out. Are there 2 Minobis? Because I swear there's another Minobi out there. I think Demovar's trying to tell Zixme there's a tango up here. These guys keep blue on bluing. And I think they're firing at their own teammates on this hilltop, too. Yeah, they're trying to hit Eric. Thankfully, they can't hit shit. Now they're taking hostile fire from all the way out there. Really detrimental to have players like that, because that could potentially allow for OFCRA to still get boots in the ground here. Funny enough, these guys are shooting at these guys, not realizing that they're actually helping them out. Misano, friendly fired. And headbutts a tree. No, this is a great new map indeed. Eric and Shay forced to pull away because they're getting hit by friendly positions. Still blue on blue here. Other guy gets killed off. So there's still a decent chance for OFCRA right now. It's going to come down to time. I'm calling it, man. Alright, I'm going to stop covering that part because at this point it's not worth it. 20 minutes, they're not even going to be able to get back here in time. Command for OFCRA now coming in to join the fight. So we got this group suppressing from all the way back there. It's eventually going to boil down to OFCRA are going to have to transition down the ridge, and then this group might be able to pick them off, but I don't see OFCRA winning this one. Blue 4 just have too much manpower down below. Minobi actually killed Zixme. Minobi is on 7 kills now. Jesus. The reign of Minobi. My god. So Blue 4 trying to medic up admin. Shay wakes back up after being knocked. Eric's still in the back line here. We could still see Shay and these two make a play, but it's going to be really dangerous. OFCRA casualties being carried back. They made a little red box. God, that's green. God, you can just see my brain is fried at the moment. Misano still isn't woken back up after headbutting that tree. Staifu gets a knockout. Trying to put shots on that gunner. Manages to make him fold in. OFCRA now transitioning to the north. Might be trying to get on the low ground and then come into the plant, but they still have Blue 4 elements here to contend with. And Kaiser just spotted that contact there. I still can't believe that happened to the frickin' nuclear coolant silos there. So like I said, it better not be a frag, Kremet. But they take fire from that one marksman, which I think is just Watts with an iron sight. Some Blue 4 started scaling this ridge, though, to start flanking plays. That has weakened the internal defense here, but it's like Shay's battle buddy got killed, so Shay's now going to try to come up. Oh, we could see Shay make a good play here. Grenade, Shay. Grenade. Blows Marty away and quickly folds back. That's not a bad call either. OFCRA are being suppressed right now, so they can't go up and counter. Shay's going to now go for an outflank. Oh, Shay, no. No, not the noob tube, Shay. He might have just checked and seen it had no ammo. No, Shay. Da-na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. He backpacks it. Here's the thing, an AT launcher is also good for protecting your body. If you angle the AT launcher between you and the enemy shooting at you, the AT launcher will absorb the bullets, and you will take no damage, because it's just a hitbox. These two duking it out in two separate buildings. He's checking it for ammo. Oh my god. No freaking way. These guys are all close together. I swear to God, if what happens that I think is going to happen happens. Vehicle rush. Explosive charges that failed. Shay is so close to greatness. That's OPFOR ground command right there. And that's OPFOR ground command dead. He's now going to potentially outflank and come around from a different angle. AT out. No! Jonathan shoots Shay in the ass. I didn't even see him on my camera angle, but I mean, 2 kills right there isn't bad. Kremet, meanwhile, is pushed up on his own. He's got to find the undercover agent in these, okay, it's right here. I legitimately have no idea where this undercover agent is. Oh, he's on the roof. Oh, God, that's gonna be difficult to get to. There's a stairwell up, but he's completely exposed if he tries. I don't think OPFOR having command dead matters. Demovar taking a 1-1-3 and driving out. That's going to leave Minobi to be the sole survivor with 7 kills on that outer objective.
Time check. We have 12 minutes remaining. OFCRA are running out of time to get down in the AO to secure the final areas. The funny thing is, if they get up to that guy, they will tie the game. And in the event we tie, I just delete the poll, as if nothing happened. So Kremit laying low, popping a fresh mag. OFCRA still have way too many guys on Overwatch. We got 2 guys trying to fold in. Blue 4 have a bunch of dudes on Overwatch too. I don't think these guys are going to be able to get into the AO, so it's really going to be up to Kremit and then maybe Cheeseburger and Danny Sweet. So if they go out, it's GG for Blue, GG, and Blue 4 is going to win. Nonetheless, thank you for joining me today. We do have another stream in 3 hours. That's going to be POG. After this stream concludes, I'm just going to throw the file up on the server, have that all ready to go for us, and it should be a lot of fun. Now you got Blue 4 trying to smoke charge the side, but they're getting flanked. Jonathan does have an RPD, though, so he does have a decent chance. He did get hit once, though. But that fire is pretty intense. He gets hit a second time. He's going for it. Thank God those marksmen up there suck. Rifle grenades going out. Whiteside knocked out in a building. Kremit pushing up. It's crazy how close this has gotten because Blue 4 started putting forces out where they didn't need them. 10 minutes remaining. Kremit might scale this tower. Instead, he starts throwing grenades. That's amazing. Gets a double kill on 2 people medicing. Is Blue 4 going to start pulling internal site security? I think they are, yep. If OFCRA have breakthroughs, they will get in. Danny Sweet and Cheeseburger now at the front. We could see an OFCRA upset here. Kremit coming around. He's got guys across from him, but they're not looking his way. Oh my God. Kremit might actually clutch, and if not, Jonathan and Gerald also coming in. 3 more guys going the lawn way. They're going to be out of play. And then these 2 staying on the hill, so it's up to 5 remaining OFCRA infantry. Blue 4 have way too many people out of position, though. Got some shots over here. That's going to pull the attention from Blue 4. They knock out Killer J. Kremit, if he's smart, he needs to loot a Blue 4 gun so he can hide his audio ID. He does not, though. Front door's wide open. Herzog here doesn't have his weapon on the left side, so he's immediately spotted and taken out by Kremit. Oh no, Icebreaker, the map dev, he's gonna be shot in the ass. Grenade bounces in, that's gonna get Sommer. Icebreaker alone, can the map dev himself stop OFCRA? He's alone! He doesn't know Kremit's coming up! Kremit tosses a grenade! Icebreaker doesn't know! He gets shot to shit! Kremit is soloing! He just needs to get to the roof, climb up, and he can interact with the scientist and tie the game! And then he can run over and input the codes and OFCRA can win! Are we going to see OFCRA clutch the win here? He's taking return fire. Blue 4 is trying to push him. Kremit doesn't know what to do. Grenade goes perfectly on. Wow. He had it. He just didn't know what to do in that sense. We knew what to do. That's crazy. He got a great multi-kill, but can we see other players like Jonathan, Danny Sweet Cheeseburger come in? Blue 4 have now put a lot of infantry around these positions. Jonathan could still finish what Kremet started. Cheeseburger pre-firing a corner here. He's got a PKP, that's why. Blue 4, though, they got the M1919A6. Cheeseburger beats out the 1919A6. Does Jonathan run up and stop these shooters here? Runs out of ammo. Double taps with the handgun. The other guy on the rooftop isn't there anymore. Jonathan could now clutch it. Are Blue 4 gonna fumble? Does Jonathan know to run up here? Checks the roof. Sees the stairwell. I can't believe it. OFCRA have it. There is no one here to stop security. The 3 people came up on the ridge and stopped Blue 4. What the hell happened? Demovar now coming in. Minobi still staying hidden back there. OFCRA have tied it. KGB agent's dead. All Jonathan has to do is go back to the reactor control and stop it. I can't believe it. This should have been a solid Blue 4 victory, but they weren't pulling point security. The question is, where does he put it? We see reactor controls in here, but I don't see where it's supposed to be inputted. Oh, it's on the rooftop. That is cheekily hidden away. I didn't see Jonathan run up and touch it, though. I don't know how Blue 4 dropped that. So hold on, I'm going to quickly check back on this objective. I want to see if there's any prompt, because I know OFCRA had to have interacted with that laptop. There isn't a prompt. Okay, so we don't know if they've won yet or not, because I haven't seen anyone actually interact with that computer. Danny Sweet taking out some of the Blue 4 elements coming back. Cheeseburger, I think, double tapping that body. Demovar gets taken out, though. Looted some grenades. He's going to throw them over. Double taps. Sierra, whatever. Cheeseburger getting flanked. Here's the thing. I don't know if OFCRA touched that laptop or not. So this is either going to be a tied game or it's going to be an OFCRA victory. We're not going to be able to tell, though, for another 3 minutes. Oh, look at that. What are you doing? What? What? What fumble? What fumble? Jonathan really channeling his inner Rodrigo here. Does Z-Max come around? No, Jonathan pulls the corner and fires too late. Jonathan coming back around. It's on aim, but the dude has an RPD. The RPD is a very powerful weapon in CQC. Z-Max tries noob tubing him, but Jonathan is having none of that. Misses the... Oh, he gets him with that one. Takes a noob tube to bring him down. And Cheeseburger has died. No one else can get in here, so we're stuck here in these final 2 minutes to see who actually won. Give me 1 second. All right. It's over. It is over. OFCRA might have won it, or they might have tied the game, but either way, if you're OFCRA, you don't have to worry about your points. I have just been informed that NASA is going to blow the nukes regardless of the mission outcome, so that's great. We have 2 more OFCRA. I'm just trying to see if Jonathan's going to wake back up, but 2 more OFCRA coming in. Doesn't look like Jonathan's waking up. No, there it is. Are you actually kidding? OFCRA had the number advantage. OFCRA literally had a player there the entire time and they didn't loot it? Blue 4 won. Because no one in Blue 4 went up and touched it, which is probably why they didn't have the full code, because they needed that part to do it, which is why they didn't interact with it, because no one up there managed to get it. Blue 4 won. I'm upset. Anyway, we'll be back in 3 hours. Real quick, we're going to run our closing ad, so 1 second. That's nuts. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit